I remember my Catholic school days. That was awful. Being a Jew and all. They wouldn't let me take communion. They said, you killed him, you can't eat him too. I had to bring my own wafers. Vanilla wafers, I was very popular. I'm not a very good Jew. I couldn't go home for Passover this year because I had a yeast infection. Okay, some of you will have to ask your Jewish friends to explain that. It's just a bread joke. It's not a joke. Recently, I became a Christian Scientist because that was the only health plan I could afford. Some of you will have to ask your Christian Science friends to explain that. They won't think it's funny. Well, but hopefully with Obama, we're going to have some health coverage, maybe. And I am very excited about him because, well, because it's so nice to have a president who was actually elected. Because I think that President Bush is evidence that maybe some children should be left behind. I had been really hoping for an Obama-Clinton ticket because, you know, clearly the job of the next president is clean up. So who better than a woman and a black man? Okay, maybe a Mexican. He's going to be Secretary of Commerce. Okay, we got the team. But at least this administration took care of that whole Abu Ghraib thing, right? The 7 bad apples all went to prison, problem solved! Yeah, that was amazing to me, because at the same time that the administration said they had nothing to do with it, we have no idea how this happened. It was the night shift. At the same time they said, well, we had to torture them because we weren't getting any good information. But I think there are things we could have done short of torture. Like translators. But, you know, after 35 years, Pinochet finally had to stand trial. Isn't that great? I mean, before he died. And before he died, he was found fit to stand trial. Which means for 35 years, he evaded justice because he didn't feel well. That's like Jeffrey Dahmer saying, well, I'd really like to stand trial, but I have this indigestion. Where's my acid refluxers, huh? Oh yeah, I have that. That's pretty. My doctor gave me a list of foods I'm not allowed to have, which is basically everything good, right? It's onions, garlic, caffeine, alcohol, chocolate, spicy food, fried food. I put the list up on the refrigerator. My husband added butter, eggs, toilet paper. I grew up in Connecticut in the 70s. It was a very ice storm. My parents were swingers, except my mom didn't know it. But, you know, I got married, hence the husband, and I married a man because it's legal. And I only like to do things that are legal. I married a man and I take prescription drugs. But I think the reason that some people are opposed to gay marriage is just fear. It's just fear of the millions of Mexican lesbians who are going to come here for green cards. I'm married 7 years, but no children. Because we are way too immature for that. You know, I get up at 7 p.m. and go to work for 15 minutes. I think if we ever are ready, we're going to be those older parents. We're going to tell our kids that their parents died in a car accident. And we're really the grandparents. And that's why we're too tired to do anything fun. I'm afraid to have kids, because that hurts. Apparently quite a lot. And my best friend had a baby, she wanted me to have one too, so the kids could play together. That's a good reason for me to have a kid. That's good social policy. So she thought if I was there for the birth of her child, I'd want to run right out and do it. I was there. It was actually kind of amazing. It was fascinating, miraculous, and disgusting, but I have to say, if you ever do this, get the epidural. Once I had that, it was a whole different experience. See, I remember from science class that pain is there to tell us not to do things. Ow, the stove is hot. Take your hand away. You're not supposed to be having children. That's basic science. However, I've always wanted to give birth to kittens. Because I figured it would hurt less. And then when you're done, you'd have kittens. And people have litters these days. They do. It started with those McCoys. Remember them? 7 baby McCoys. I wanted to drown them. Oh, not the babies. I wouldn't do that. I wanted to drown the parents. Right? Because they were so self-righteous. They kept saying in the press, God really wanted us to have these 7 babies. No. No, God didn't want you to have any. That's why you were infertile. It was Pfizer wanted you to have those babies. Do you like impressions? Oh, yeah. I don't do any. No, here's my impression of my cat, Kevin, sneezing. Okay, and now I'd like to do for you my favorite animal. This is a little animal I like to call a squirrel. And in Italy, it's El Squirriato. And apparently here in New York, it's a fucking rat in a tree.